So let's start with debt, and I guess in this case the three buckets that you think of debt within.
Okay, great. Yeah, and it's not only just debt. Really, all this is centered around like personal finance in particular. And and actually about 2 years ago, I was trying to go through and make my budget and realizing that inflation was starting to get moving and things like that. I just I really tried to reframe debt in my life and the role it plays because I'm still pretty young. I'm growing. I'm building. I had to buy a house and cars. Like just something to keep our family going. And so, I guess I used to just have this perspective that I wasn't saving enough money. And when I got back down to it and looked at it, like a huge portion of every single one of my debt payments is generating net worth, and it's increasing my personal balance sheet. So, um, yeah, as far as like managing this stuff, my goal back then was to try to my income's somewhat variable. I work overtime, I get overtime paid, and then I get bonuses too. And so it was really just trying to figure out a way to put extra money into my investments. And so I created like these three buckets in my personal budgets. I read a book called uh oh shoot, I forgot what it's called, Profit First. And Profit First is basically aimed at helping helping business owners get more profit out of their business. And I figured, hey, I haven't seen a way to apply this to personal finance. So I ended up doing it for myself, and actually published a book in January 2021 as well. I just kind of wrote it up because I thought it would be helpful for people. But the way I run my finances is I have something I call the wealth account. It's a brokerage account that any excess money that goes above and beyond my mortgage or anything else that will increase my net worth goes towards uh, being invested or just even saved with cash. So everything, my goal is to get as much as I can into there. Um, but anyway, so what I did is I got basically separated things into three different accounts. I have one account that's for my fixed expenses that are on autopilot. Everything gets paid out of a credit card in that account, on autopilot. It's just on auto pay, and I know exactly how much I need to transfer into that account every month. So everything, just even straight out of my paycheck, just goes straight into that account, and I don't even think about it. And then the next thing is, the only thing that I really care about controlling is my variable expenses. So I have a separate account for that. But basically, after my fixed expenses are met, I keep 28% of my remaining money to live off of. And then everything else gets pushed into my wealth account. And the wealth account includes things like my mortgage. It has my car payment in there too. And those things are fixed, and I pay those every month. But anything up and above and beyond those payments gets invested. And so it's kind of putting everything on autopilot. And I guess I'll just leave you with a final thought here is, if the interest rate is less than the inflation rate, I consider that a good investment, at least as far as the debt is concerned. So I'm not in a hurry to pay off those debts.
Mm.
I have like 1.9% car payment. I'm a year away from paying the whole thing off, and I'm not going to pay it off early because I'll save like $200 in interest total. It's
Mm.
just not worth my time.
Yeah.
Um, I'd rather get the upside and be more invested for longer.